All right, guys, welcome back to the Play On podcast with your hosts Jerry and Jesse. This is episode 54, and we're coming back from international break, so it's always good to be back to club football.
Yeah, there's always matches going on, not just meaningless ones. But yeah, before we even get started, make sure to like and subscribe, share this with a friend. But yeah, there's a bunch of matches going on. We had the FA Cup this weekend, no Premier League matches, and La Liga, the race started back on. Same thing with Bundesliga and Serie A.
Yeah,
Any standout matches for you, Jesse? The ones that you've seen.
the ones that I saw this weekend, I didn't see much. I was pretty busy. Plus, I wasn't gonna wake up like at in the morning to see Barcelona play Girona just to be disappointed.
Well, it's been a lot of disappointment for you in 2025 then. For sure, hate watching for Barcelona.
Hey, listen, it was Jerry, it was.
Yeah, they're in an unbeaten streak right now. I don't even know the number. I don't keep track to be honest. But yeah, March was a good month for Barcelona, and hopefully it keeps coming. But yeah, they got the dub. Standout match for me. It's probably that Barcelona one, or even though it's Osasuna one. Just in general, Ferran Torres is just on fire right now, becoming the super sub. So it's pretty cool to see. Especially we had that thing. We have him in the back pocket just in case we need goals, and he's the guy. Can't hate,
You know
dude. He
what?
has more non-penalty goals than Vinicius at this time with less minutes.
Listen, who likes March? March isn't a good month anyway,
I love
so.
March, bro. Dude, it's my birthday month. Come on.
Exactly what.
Hater, bro. Hater.
Exactly. I'm so happy we're going in April because everything good stuff happens in April.
No, April Fools, dude. Come on. Like today,
It's tomorrow.
tomorrow. Well, today when the podcast comes out.
No, true, true, true.
But yeah,
Oh,
well, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
no, no, no. I was gonna say April Fools.
True. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a bunch of matches. Premier League midweek, which is crazy. The schedule is hectic, so you're gonna see a bunch of matches, and as
Uh,
well as like a bunch of cup competitions. So we're gonna get straight into it. First match in our pick'ems is Fulham versus Arsenal.
yes, and I went with my continued hate watch of picking against Arsenal.
I
I
actually,
went with
oh, you went with
I
Jesse.
went with
Why do
Fulham
we even ask you at this point what you're picking when it comes to the Arsenal matches?
because Jerry sometimes my hate watches carry different agendas, so I switch up.
But like, you have picked Arsenal a couple of times, right? Because that hasn't been like straight Arsenal hate. I think there's
Uh,
like been a few times.
Yeah, I picked Arsenal versus Chelsea because I need my agenda versus Chelsea is bigger than Arsenal because of other, outside stuff. And yeah,
In
sometimes
the
I just
Champions League, right? Like the second leg versus what was the
uh,
Holland's
well,
name?
well, that one was just a given. And even then they didn't
The
pull it off because they drew. So yeah,
Yeah, I forgot. I actually I'm switching my pick, Jesse. You're going Fulham because Arsenal hater right there. I'm picking Arsenal. I forgot they rested. So give me the
I
dub.
I thought you picked Arsenal.
I picked the tie, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm taking the Arsenal.
I
They got
wrote
the
down.
dub, and then they
I,
have a hard match in the weekend.
yeah, I wrote you down for Arsenal.
Hmm. Maybe you knew something. You
Yeah,
knew I was gonna
dude,
pick them.
I'm always ahead.
Next match is Real Madrid versus Sociedad. Sorry, my order is wrong. It's the Super Cup semifinal. Real Madrid's up what
What
1-0?
1-0. Yep, and they're playing at home.
They are. I got Sociedad.
It's you talk about hate watch, Jerry. That's a hate watch right there.
It is, dude. They're coming off a exhausting weekend. The Leganes match that we thought it was gonna be a lot easier. They had to come back with controversial calls, but they had to come back nonetheless, and they had to use all their fucking manpower to like pull through that match.
We're talking about a Real Sociedad who is struggling, who only have Kubo to carry them, and you expect them to do it at the Santiago Bernabéu? Nah.
They got super unlucky the first leg, to be honest. They hit the crossbar like about four times that match, I think. They could pull it off. Anything can happen. Real Madrid is tired. Jude Bellingham has played all the England matches. Same thing with Vinicius with Brazil, Rodrigo with Brazil. The fatigue is gonna get him, Jesse, eventually.
If anything, it might catch up to Barca instead,
Yeah, maybe.
playing two
Uh,
matches over the weekend.
but thankfully we took care of him. Their next match, for those wondering, Jesse's picking Real Madrid. He's never picking against them. Next
Yeah.
match is the Nottingham Forest match.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest versus Man U.
Hmm.
I went with Forest because why wouldn't I?
Yeah, me too. I went with Forest, the most consistent team, the bigger team. No, but yeah, it was just consistency this season. They're looking good.
Yeah, they're in third place. It's literally a top four team versus a lower table team.
Hmm.
So of course I'm gonna go with the favorite.
And it's mind-boggling, dude, to say that. Like 10 years ago, you would never say this. You'd say like it's an easy dub for Man U. How times change.
Nope, not even 10 years ago. Because think about it, that was 2015. That's post Sir Alex Ferguson already.
Fuck, for real. No, even
That's
then they were battling. They got second place a couple times in the Premier League
David
then.
Moyes. David Moyes?
Yeah,
Did they? Let me
yeah,
look. Let me check. Let me
look it
check.
up. Because I remember they were in 2018, there was in the Champions League as well. They faced Barcelona. I
Ooh,
think
this
post 2018 was like the kind of like a steeper downfall.
uh I gotta check. And FootMob only shows up to 2016. That was they finished sixth.
Just look up Premier League table, 2014, 2015 table, and it should come up with like the whole results. But
Premier
I'm
table.
pretty sure, yeah, they were still pretty decent. I think top four. Trying to remember because it was post Pogba.
They were fourth. They were fourth.
Top four nonetheless. They were in
That's it.
Nottingham Forest shoes at this point.
Below them because Nottingham Forest was third. They were
Yeah,
below Arsenal. That says everything to me.
wait, what?
2014, 2015.
Uh-huh.
Arsenal were third, Man U's fourth.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna. Never mind. I thought you meant like Nottingham Forest finished third that Premier League season. I was like, what?
And now they were still in the championship, if I'm correct.
Hmm. But yeah, we're going with the consistent team, and we both agree easily. Next match is the Brighton versus Aston Villa.
Yes.
Brighton just came off. They're having a fantastic FA Cup run, and they just keep winning. They won in penalties, and now they're facing an Aston Villa, who's very dangerous in its own way.
Uh, this is Premier League.
Hmm. No, but I'm just saying, like in general, like the
Oh,
weekend,
okay.
they're having a great run. They're in the semifinal at this point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's exactly why I picked Brighton over Aston Villa.
Oof, I'm taking Aston Villa due to the fact that Brighton did just play that match and they don't get much rest. They're playing this match Wednesday, I believe.
Yes.
So I think Villa's gonna have a good game plan in hand.
Hmm.
Um,
See, that's where we differ because around this stage, we know from Emery that he begins to focus on cup competitions because that's his bread and butter, and he
mhm,
begins to lax off in the league. And since he's still, I believe, in one of the English Cup competitions, I think in the FA Cup, right?
mhm.
Aston Villa's still in there and still in the Champions League. I think he's gonna put his focuses on those, and then the league is gonna falter a bit. That's why.
I don't know. I think you do have to, if you're Emery at this point, you know you can't win the Premier League. You can't win all competitions, all three of them, the last three of them that they're in. I think their focus is going to be trying to win the FA Cup, maintain their Premier League status as much as they can, because they're at this point, they're what, fifth or sixth?
Another ninth.
So their way to get into Europe is going to be the FA
FA,
Cup.
yeah, FA Cup. Yeah, because they're all the way down in ninth. Brighton's in seventh, so they're ahead.
And I
Even
hate that
though,
I just said all this and it kind of proved your point.
yeah,
I'm still taking Villa. But no, I think just with that extra rest, they're gonna have a good game plan. I think Brighton's gonna have tired legs. Too many matches.
nah. But
But
moving on, we have the Merseyside Derby, Liverpool versus Everton.
I got a tie.
I went with Liverpool because they're going to be playing in at home, and I think their fans are going to be more fired up, especially since the incident that happened in the last meeting they had in the last derby. I
Hmm.
think there's gonna be a little bit extra fire in them and
I
get
don't
the
know,
win.
dude. I don't know. We've seen how the Merseyside derbies have played along the years. There's been only a couple instances from what I from like my most recent memory where Liverpool has completely dismantled them. This is usually like a one goal win kind of game, especially just because how Everton plays it. They play like super
Defensive.
dirty. I'll say dirty because they cause a lot of fouls.
You say dirty, I say tactics.
Oh, that's yeah, same thing. And they're like tactical fouls, fouls that you're not gonna get a yellow for. So they tend to do that a lot. And at this point, Villa, not Villa, oh my God, I keep want to say Aston Villa. Everton keeps they're actually scoring this season more than they have in the past couple seasons. So I think they could actually make it competitive, especially with the Liverpool side that's well, the morale's kind of low. Even though they're winning the Premier League, boo-hoo, you know,
Yeah.
but you know, they were striving for more, and at this point. Everton could take advantage of that.
Well, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's a gut feeling, Jerry.
Hey, do you? I don't blame you. And same thing with mine. Mine's a gut feeling.
Yeah. Now we'll have more cup competitions with the Coppa Italia semifinal Milan versus Inter. Another derby.
I keep saying these Serie A matches are just insane. I know it's cups, but like these Serie A teams, I feel like they've been matching each other so well. Like just in general, like we've been kind of been blessed by the amount of times all these teams have been facing each other, and they're all playing at a high level.
Well, it like we've said, it feels like there's always like three matches where we're having very good teams play against each other, and they're usually all very good, tactic wise, play wise. Like we'll see goals, we'll see everything, and it's always a treat when in the Serie A.
It is, but we do have an AC Milan side that has been so bad since they since like what the winter transfer market,
Yeah, since the turn of the year.
and it's kind of crazy, bro. Like this past weekend they just lost against who was it, Napoli, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um Santi Jimenez missed the penalty. Sucks, but they can't really get anything going. So I wonder how the team is doing like moral wise, morale, no. Morale.
Morale wise, yeah.
Because there was a recent clip that just came out when they were coming out of the halftime tunnel, and Kyle Walker was telling Joao Felix, "You're not Messi, pass the ball."
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not. So I wonder how the team's doing.
Well, it the fix of hiring Conchicao mid-season, it provided an initial, honeymoon phase where they were playing decent and they were getting results that seemed to have faded away, and now they're back to showing the same AC Milan we've been seeing where they just struggle.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think these teams you just really have to stop firing their coach so early on. And hiring the long-term manager in the mid-season, like what Man U has done, because it clearly doesn't pay off. Like what you need at that point, if you're gonna fire someone, you need a coach that motivates people, not necessarily tactically, because tactically you need
Hello?
time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it just sort of like, like it stopped and then it rushed. But
Oh,
we're back.
oh,
No, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's just that I feel like we've said this. The upper management of football currently has changed so much that they like. It feels like people that don't know football are in charge now because
hmm.
it feels so distant of the year where Milan won the title. Rafael Leao was MVP. Like they had young players set up for the future, and now it's all gone. Like they fired Maldini. The players aren't who they used to. They sold Tonali. Like it just all crumbled down so quickly.
Yeah, and it seems like they're trying to strive for that again, but they took like 10 steps back from doing what they already did. They had a winning formula, and then they kind of got rid of it because I think the forefront was Maldini and how his sporting direction was going, and it was a pretty good project. And then now
Yeah,
it's kind of crumbling, and it's gonna look bad on Zlatan Ibrahimovic because I think he right now he's the sporting director, and he's gonna take the pretty much the whole pain. And he's gonna be the what would you call it?
the scapegoat.
The fall guy, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it just sucks because we're seeing that so often now in football where it's so apparent in the English football, Serie A, like everyone's the front office is proven to be so vital now because they have control of so many key aspects of the team that they're if they don't do their job, they can destroy the whole foundation of teams.
Hmm. That's for sure. And well, it looks like Zlatan's gonna be out of a job soon. I don't think he lasts there.
I think just they just keep him to keep the fans happy because when they hired him, it was when they had fired Maldini, so they're like, "Oh, we need an uptick to like make the fans happy again," and they brought him back. But he seems more of like a figurehead, not an actual person that has influence. Because I don't
Yeah,
think some of the moves make sense. Like I don't think some of the moves are like Zlatan like.
yeah, it's interesting too. And if they do end up finding Zlatan, he's gonna be yapping about it. He's not gonna hold back. He's gonna
Yeah,
crucify him and tell him everything that's going on. But yeah, who do you got?
yeah, we well, all right. Yeah, I got you there because of that.
I have AC Milan just because of that specific situation. They're not gonna win the league. They're nowhere near UCL competitions. They gotta win this. So I'm thinking they're going like four eggs in their basket for this specific matchup. They gotta go
Uh,
all out, dude. This is their final.
yeah, even then, I still don't think they have enough.
Yeah, we'll see. Next match is the another cup tie. It's the Super oh my God, Super Copa. The what's it called? Copa del
DFP,
Rey.
no DFP Poco.
We haven't gone over the Copa del Rey.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that next.
Oh my bad. I have it before the
Oh, I have this one before. All right.
oh
We'll go.
yeah, we'll just say the Copa del Rey. Huge matchup. Tied at 4-4 in aggregate, so nothing happens. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, and they're playing in Atletico Madrid Stadium.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a tough one. Looking from the past, like I think people would expect it to be again a high scoring, exciting match. I don't think so. I think Atletico Madrid at home is gonna slow it down and try to take control of this game because I don't think they want another, you know, goal scoring like situation, especially against Barcelona. So I think they're going to try to slow it down, settle it, play their game, and then try, squeeze out a 1-0 result or 2-0 result.
Nah, I have Barcelona. I have the complete opposite. I think Simeone is gonna try to enforce that and invoke his an attacking style of football because he needs something right now. They just tied this past weekend against one of the worst teams in Spanish football. They got their ass kicked by Barcelona a couple of weeks ago. They lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League. They need something, and right now you got to kick that guy while he's down, and Barcelona's gonna probably like win like 3-0.
But you know what they say, never go after a wounded animal because that's when they are the most fiercest.
And that's
Like,
why,
right,
and also the most desperate.
yeah. So right now, Atletico have nothing else to fight for if you look at it. Because they might have, they're out of the Champions League. La Liga's looking rough. They're still in third place. They're a couple points behind. It's close, but if it's the same Real Madrid and Barca of old. That's all it takes. So the Copa del Rey is still like their best chance to get something out of this season. So I think they're gonna pull it out with this.
I don't know. I disagree, especially how Barcelona's playing right now. Like their biggest flaw is depending on what the situation is, probably the high line if they try to figure it out. When what Atletico Madrid has tried to figure it out, but and has gotten success out of it. But then again, they got bit in the ass by giving the Barcelona the ball way too much. And well, Barcelona with the ball right now is super dangerous.
But this is also a tired Barcelona because they've played two games this weekend. Now they're going on 2 days of rest to Madrid, and they're gonna have to play against them.
Well, again, they did rotate it. They rotated pretty healthily. Well, like pretty frequently. The one thing I am going to say, I don't think Lamine Yamal starts this for this cup tie because he's played what is it for the Nations League? He played the whole 120 minutes. Then he played the full 90 or like around the full 90 for the second for the game against Osasuna. I think he did play the full game, and then he played the full game against this weekend against Girona. I think he's gonna come out with Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Ferran as an attacking trio.
I think, and that's another thing. As we said, have we said on the pod? But we said like Atletico Madrid sort of like mini Argentina currently,
Hmm.
and they got into Rafinha's head over the international break. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do that tactic again against him in this match.
We'll see, dude. Maybe Rafinha needs to get back. Rafinha talked too much shit, and again, like you said, it's a mini Argentina, so he's gonna have a lot of motivation because he didn't play at all this past weekend or like the Thursday match, so he's
Maybe
itching to play.
maybe he gets his get back, but maybe that's also like you said, desperation leads to mistakes.
We'll see, but it's gonna be an interesting final because yeah, there's so many storylines going into that one.
Semifinal.
Semifinal, yeah. Next match is the DFB Polka. It's Leipzig versus Stuttgart. The Stuttgart is playing at home, and I have the home team Stuttgart winning this match.
I'm going with Leipzig. I think Sesko and Xavi Simons is too much talent for Stuttgart currently. I think Stuttgart are the better coach team, but I believe talent-wise, Leipzig have more, and they're gonna get it done with that.
I agree with you that Leipzig does have the better team, but I don't like them playing away. They have shown struggles of playing away, and I don't know if they could get past it against one of the better home sides. Again, we were all praised about Stuttgart in the beginning of the season and how well they were playing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, especially since Stuttgart, like they've won their past two matches against Leipzig, so they have that track record. And Stuttgart at this point, they haven't won a match in the past six matches. They need a
Let's
win.
let's make it seven.
They need a win.
Let's make it
So they're
seven.
they're trying to hit the lottery and get this dub.
Oh, don't say that, Jerry. I'm still hurt.
But yeah. And moving on, we have another Premier League match. No, this
This is Thursday.
is this a Premier League matchup?
Yeah, Thursday. Chelsea versus Spurs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday Premier League. Only game of Premier League that day.
And give me Chelsea, dude, taking that dub.
You guys know who I'm going for? I'm going for Spurs, you know. That derby is going to where do they get it? Coys or whatever? I don't care.
I can't side with Spurs anymore, dude. They disappointed me all season, even though how much we were hyping them up in the preseason predictions.
Yeah, they're getting the win, Jerry. It doesn't matter. They're getting the win. They're gonna help me in my cause.
Next matchup is the Arsenal versus Everton. That's Saturday morning, 6 a.m. I am not gonna be up watching that because no, thank you. Uh, I have Everton winning it.
I have a draw.
They're playing it in Everton, right?
Everton, yeah.
Yeah, that place is
Jurassic Park.
rowdy. Arsenal's gonna stumble again, especially with Mikel Merino as a striker.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Uh, Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest.
this is a great matchup. This is great, and I was very on the fence. Now I'm taking Nottingham.
I went with Aston Villa just because I feel like I've been very against Aston Villa recently, so I got to give them one win.
They do probably have one of the best goalies of all time. Next matchup is Real Betis versus FC Barcelona.
Yeah, give me Betis.
They're
Isco's
playing at
gonna
Betis, right?
no, playing Barca's playing at home.
Yeah, gonna be Barcelona.
Yeah, give me Isco and Anthony, dude. Anthony is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, they just had their past derby against Sevilla. They won, and Anthony's just like and completely immersed with the Real Betis fans and like waving the flag and everything. It's gonna be a tough matchup, honestly. Especially because I do see heavy rotations on this specific match happening for Barcelona because the Champions League comes up in midweek for the following
Yeah.
week. But yeah, I think Barcelona wins it. They have enough talent, especially with all the rotations they can make. Especially with Eric Garcia, he's playing pretty decent at defensive midfield. They're not playing him at center back, so
Nah, dude, Isco's gonna be the best player on that field.
we'll see. Next match is the Fiorentina match.
Yeah, Fiorentina versus Milan. And I'm going with La Viola.
I'm getting a tie easily. Fiorentina doesn't really score too many goals. AC Milan, again, we talked about them. They're gonna go all out in the cup competition. They're gonna win that one, but they're gonna stumble in this one again.
Yeah, and plus Moise Kean is in crazy form right now.
Hmm.
Watch us jinx him
I
again.
know. Torn ACL. Breaking news. Lille versus Lyon. This is one of the most interesting and great matchups for the Ligue 1. That competition that's pretty much done for. I have Lyon with Cherki. He's gonna continue assisting people because he has a great track record of it.
Yeah, I went with Leo. I think they're still very good team, even though they've been knocked out the Champions League. The young talent they showed, I think, is gonna keep proving it, and might eventually make a big move. What was his name? You know who I'm talking about, Jerry? The kid with the hair.
No clue. Pep?
Give me a
No.
second.
Honestly, I have no clue.
He was a midfielder. Or am I
Cherki.
confused? Ayad Bouadi.
Hmm.
He's 17. He's really good. I think in a couple years, like a year or two, he's gonna make that big move to a big club, and it's gonna be like one of the next big French talents.
They have enough of those, Jesse.
And plus, I he could play CDM, so the champs is gonna love him.
No, not anymore, dude. He's gonna play Rabiot till like he's 40. The next matchup is Brentford versus
Chelsea.
Chelsea. And Brentford has a great record of playing at home. I think they scored in every home match except for one. And this is going to be another one. They're going to thrash Chelsea. I got Brentford winning.
The same. I picked Brentford as well because yeah, not because of any other reason except that Brentford's really good at home and they're gonna get a win against Chelsea.
And shout out Mbebu, dude. That guy's such an underrated player, and he's pretty effective. He won't
He-
score like 30 goals, but he has like a good 10 and 10.
yeah, he's a good player, poised for a big move in the summer.
We'll see.
But also Wisa has been really good for them as well.
Hmm. Just all around great team. The sporting director is pretty cool. He takes the his model, like his whole philosophy is like around the Moneyball situation. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, really? Makes sense with the
Hmm.
signs that they make.
Like the center backs he buys and even the defensive midfielders he buys, he looks at what's it shots and blocked. That's his specific statistics he looks for. It's pretty cool. Next matchup is the Man City match.
Manchester Derby.
Mhm. And I'm surprised what you picked.
I went with the draw because I don't like either team, so neither of them should get a win.
I got Man City, even though Erling Haaland looks like to be done for the season. Um, I think Man City's gonna come up on top. Marbush, as soon as Haaland came off, scored. So
Oh,
he's
no, no,
gonna
no, never mind. Let me switch that. I need Man City to win.
have
Give me a City.
uh
For no reason, Jerry. No agenda, no nothing.
for your bet. All right, let me switch it
Uh,
for you.
Man City win. Let me change that real quick.
I like how you saw it right away. I saw the panic in your eye when you picked it.
Yeah, I forgot. But it's okay, it's okay.
Now you're gonna talk highly of him.
Of course, dude. Man City, they're on the up and up. Marmoush is carrying on with his good form. Haaland might miss the game, but that's okay because Marmoush is really good. Nico Gonzalez has proven to be a great replacement for Rodrigo and or Rodri or whatever his name is, and Kusanov is starting to fit into the team.
Um, I was gonna shout out the left back for Man City. He was having a great game against this past weekend against Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Not Soler. Got subbed off. Who is it? Hold up. O'Reilly. He came on for the injured Soler and immediately made a huge impact and was just running down that whole flank, which is what they needed. And he got 2 assists off that goal. I mean, off that game instantly
Yeah,
with like 40, 30 minutes of gameplay.
yeah, he's another midfielder turned defender.
Oh my God. Pep could not trust wingbacks anymore with his life. But yeah, fantastic game out of him.
Exactly. Thank you, Jerry. Another point, right? Yeah.
Get used to playing center. I mean, what is it, left back,
Uh,
O'Reilly? Yeah, you're not playing center mid anytime soon. Because what is it? What's his name? Mendes? Not Mendes.
Nu Nunez, Mateo Nunez.
Yeah, he's playing right back now.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's shock, bro. You want to play? You got to play goalkeeper next. Next match is the Bilbao versus the Villarreal. They're playing in El Madrigal Stadium, and I got Villarreal winning that match because Bilbao let me down this past weekend.
I got Bilbao.
How the hell does Bilbao not beat Osasuna when Osasuna had pretty much had no time to rest?
Jerry, don't ask me. I thought Bilbao was gonna win easy
And
as
at
well.
home too, bro. So I'm like, no, just give me Villarreal. I'd
No, but
rather trust
what?
them.
No, but see, this is the unpredictability of football. They didn't win it against some, but they're gonna win against Villarreal at home.
I don't know. Yeah. That was so frustrating to me. Next match is the Atalanta match. I don't have the other team.
Lazio,
hmm
Atalanta versus Lazio, and I'm going with Atalanta.
Yeah, me too. I'm going with Atalanta. Lazio has been kind of staggered, but same thing with Atalanta. Honestly, this matchup is a coin toss, especially with how Atalanta's been this past season, with like the whole pretty much team falling apart.
Yeah, but I also give it Atalanta.
Yeah, me too. I like Rotegi. He's a huge goal scoring threat.
Yeah. And then we have Roma versus Juventus, and I normal me would have picked Juve because those are my guys, but the players are still there, but they fired Thiago Motta for no reason. The board made a mistake there, and now I'm going with a draw because
Yeah, give me Roma. I don't like the Juventus firing. They're literally on the cusp of winning, or like not even winning, but like on the cusp of top four, finishing top four. Were they gonna win the league? Probably not. Um, but yeah, you can't fire your coach at that point. You gotta keep them until the end of the season, especially how well they were playing. You saw the glimpses of what it could be.
plus it's crazy because the club or the team was going through changes of playing a completely different style of football because they're going from a defensive minded Allegri to a offensive minded Thiago Motta. So
hmm
of course it was going to take a while, a year or two for him to, transition the team to be able to play his style, but they didn't even give him that.
Yeah, they didn't give him any time. And again, this is a huge problem in football. Like, what was the point? Still a lot of games left to play. You could still easily make it into top four. You're not going to win it, but you're into Champions League, and it gives you your what is it? Your teammates, your players more experience going into the competition. And plus, on top of that, he doesn't have all the players he wants because it's still like you said, the previous coach's players.
Yeah, and plus also it's a very young team that we've mentioned before, like Yildiz, Conceição, like these are young players that are developing and that he's helping develop. So of course it's gonna take a little while for them to, reach the level to be able to carry them to titles.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, I have Roma winning it. So far, what's it called? Ranieri, he's having a decent season, especially for what Roma was. What is this, their fourth manager?
I think third or fourth, right?
Yeah, but
Something like that.
he's doing a pretty good job for it.
Okay.
Last matchup is on Monday.
Bologna versus Napoli.
Napoli has been struggling this end of the season run, and I'm taking
Yeah,
Bologna.
yeah, I went with the draw because both teams are competing because Bologna is currently fourth and Napoli is still competing with Inter for that title. And I think they both end up just taking points away from each other.
Mhm. But yeah, that's our matchups for this week. Let us know what you guys think and you give us your predictions as well. If you want to call us out for any of them, call us out. But yeah,
Talk about some news that's happened around the football world.
yes, sir. It looks like they're gonna add an extra transfer window for the Club World Cup, so teams can buy players before it actually starts. And when does that begin?
It's what starts off right after the season's end. So like Champions League ends like late May, so probably all throughout June it's gonna be. And since the official transfer window usually starts July 1st, they're gonna allow it clubs to, get a transfer window in early on June 1st.
Yeah, we'll see who actually makes moves. I'm pretty sure a decent amount of the teams are gonna try to do it just because they gotta fortify their teams and try to get as much squad depth as possible for the new season. But I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think honestly, teams are gonna take advantage of it because now they're gonna have a leg up against the competition. So they'll try to take advantage of that and be like, oh, well, we're gonna get you right now, so we don't have to compete against other clubs during the regular transfer window.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheat code, but also it could probably hurt them a lot because they're not gonna have a preseason. Their preseason's probably gonna be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending how the negotiations go, how they get into the squad and everything like that. So whoever does end up starting the new signings is gonna be very interesting. It could be very bad because they could just completely be out of tune and out of touch and cause a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, but I feel like this is just like a similar situation like in the January transfer window.
Hmm.
You just kind of sign your players and then hope they just fit into a squad. Similarly to like what Man City did with like Kuzanov and Marmoush. Some will hit the ground running and obviously some will need an adjustment period.
Hmm.
And then you just gotta hope that some of them work out and others you just hope that after preseason they'll go back to like what you expected from them.
Someone has to sign Cherky in that window. Because you gotta like if it's gonna be exactly like the winter transfer window, you gotta get someone that's in form, and that motherfucker is in insane form. He provides so many assists, so many teams can use him. I think he'll slide right into like a Man City team because Phil Foden is clearly having like issues because apparently he's losing a lot of weight too, so he might have like that similar issue that Götze did. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago. He kept losing muscle mass, and that's what I'm hearing right now for about Phil Foden. So putting it slotting in right Cherokee right in that into that position and he could also replace De Bruyne. Would probably be perfect for them.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on because no one signed him. It's
Hmm.
crazy. And plus he's so much cheaper than all the alternatives. So who knows if he goes, but I think yeah, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, they got to take advantage of this moment and take all the players that they can during this transfer window.
Yeah. And there's people that are also leaving on a free. We got to see what's going to happen with them because right now we brought it up. Jonathan Tah is like rumored to go to Barcelona. Still hasn't signed, so he could clearly sign with another team and even enter negotiations as soon as possible. Man City's looking for center backs. Chelsea's looking for center backs, but I don't think they're in the Club World Cup, right? No, they are, right?
Who?
Chelsea? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
So Chelsea clearly needs center backs, and he could slide right in. And I'm pretty sure Chelsea's paying anyone like 100 pounds, 100K pounds instantly.
Yeah, plus it's actually kind of rough if you got a player on a free transfer because uh I don't know how they can do it like because you it's all but confirmed for like Trent going to Madrid. But his Liverpool contract officially ends on July 1st. So technically, when that happens, he'll still be a Liverpool player. So I don't know if they'll pay extra money to expedite it so he could come in earlier for the Club World Cup, or are they just gonna stand pat and wait for him to come later?
You would love for him to come later. You don't want him anytime soon. I celebrated when pretty much the confirmation came out that he's going to Real Madrid. And Chetas was confused. He's like, "Why are you celebrating?" I'm like, "My wingers are gonna feast. Anthony's gonna feast." So. Offensively, he'll be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but
Well,
defensively, it's gonna be like he's gonna let a lot of things slide.
and that's my biggest thing. That's why a lot of people don't understand that I'm not upset about the offensive side. Because yeah, he'll give us assists, he'll give good crossing passes and things like that. He's a good offensive outlet, but we are very good set offensively. Defensively, we're struggling, and he's not going to help the problem at all.
Well, at least you guys saved yourself from another disaster. Alfonso Davies tore his ACL, and he's out for the remainder of the season. And Bayern Munich is looking to get compensation from the Canadian national team for causing pretty much, I don't know if it causing it or something like that, but not taking preventative measures.
Well, yeah, I remember I read the thing that basically they're upset of how they handle it because so he played both games like the full 90 minutes and they gave him a rest. Well, not both games, but like he played full 90 minutes and then the second game they expected him to like slow down or like limit his minutes. But he started off and then he got his injury pretty early on in the game. And then afterwards, they didn't think it was a big deal, so they immediately sent him on a flight back to Bayern without even checking his injury. And so when he got there, the medical staff were like, "Oh, so what happened? What's like the scans and everything?" And they're like, "Oh, they didn't do anything." So they're like, "Oh, they just sent you back on a plane, like in a difficult situation, like with no brace or anything like that, not knowing the extent of your injury." And they're like, "That's crazy." And so then they finally did the scans and they're like, "Oh, you tore your ACL."
Oh my God. So it sucks for him because he just signed that huge Bayern deal. Everyone thought he was leaving. He decided to stay. And now it looks like he's not going to play till like probably next year. Because like right now, teams, granted, applauding the teams now that they're taking ACL injuries. It's like you could easily come back in 6 months, but now they're taking preventative measures and like letting you rest a little bit more, like up to 8, 9 months, so you get that full recovery. But yeah, he might be done for the year, and we'll see the next time we get to see him play. But yeah, Real Madrid got saved that, dodged that bullet.
Yeah, now I just hope we get Carrascas from Benfica because I don't know why more people aren't linked to him because I think he's a very good left back.
Yeah, he's very good. Shut down Lamine Yamal, but probably they're not looking into him because there's like other options. Like what is it called? Oh my God, why do I want to say Bernat? The left back from Grimaldo. People are looking at Grimaldo because Frimpong looks like pretty much set to be done with Leverkusen, so he might leave. But yeah, there's a lot of viable options
My only thing with Grimaldo is that he's also a similar offensive fullback. And well, I don't mind it, but sometimes we need defensive structure, and he's also on the older side. So I was hoping more for Carrascas or the also the Bournemouth left back.
hmm
He's also looked really good.
We'll see what happens. And there's also another hot commodity, and it's Trincao. I don't know if you remember him, the Portuguese right winger. He used to play for Barcelona, but now he's in Sporting, and he's kind of like killing it right now, and has like a decent amount
Yeah.
of goals. He's linked to a lot of Premier League clubs. He's even linked to come back to Barcelona because Barcelona has a buyback option. But Barcelona looks like they're gonna generate as much money as possible because they also have 50% of his future sale. And right now he's going up, I think the rumor is he's going for 80 million. So Barcelona would get 40. And that would be fantastic because if it's Barcelona that was negotiating his exit, you probably get 20 million off of him.
Well, that's also the thing. You guys are gonna just let go of Christensen, even though you guys could have gotten money off of him, but instead you guys are just gonna let him go on a free.
Yeah, because just he had I think they were trying to play him this season, but he just kept getting injured and injured and injured. So he had that injury in before the season started. Couldn't play because they didn't register him, but now he got registered in January, and he picked up the exact same injury. So he's
Yeah,
having issues with just health.
but I feel like it made more sense over the past summer when you guys were getting like 40 million, $50 million offers for him and just letting him go because you guys were pretty well covered in the center back situation. It's like one of your strongest positions, and yet you guys decided to keep him and then didn't offer him a new contract.
Because Eddie Garcia was bound to leave. He was supposed to leave, but the contract never got finalized, so he ended up staying. So that's why they couldn't sell him without like selling Eddie Garcia first. And to be honest, it was kind of a blessing in disguise because yeah, like knowing now he just having injury problem after injury problem, we would have been shorthanded. So I applaud for Barcelona for holding on as long as possible with by not selling Christensen and just seeing the money instantly. So they kind of had like that what would you call it? Like fail safe in case like the Eddie Garcia move didn't go through.
Hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see. I definitely do see Barcelona selling a center back next season. Christensen leaving. Or maybe even we don't. But I think Jonathan Tah might come. I'm still not sure he will. I think it's still in the air.
Well, I've seen a couple of reports that there has been some friction between Hansi Flick and the front op and like the board, especially because they keep trying to push Luis Diaz onto him, and he's like, I don't need him.
Hmm.
Because what they're offering is like they'll get Luis Diaz, but then they'll sell Rafinha for profit. And he says, I don't want, why would I want Luis Diaz when I could just keep Rafinha?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If we were to look at a left wing option, I think because that I saw those reports, it was like strong links, but I think Hansi Flick came out and said like something about that. So now they're looking more into Nico Williams again, and even surprisingly Lookman, which I think is a great option because I think he's like 30 million and he's just fantastic.
No, 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 no. He's not 30 million. His price has risen exponentially because now Premier League clubs are looking into him, and now it's looking like it's going to cost 70 to 80 million for Lookman.
We'll see about that, but I think he'll come to 30 million, bro. It's Barcelona. We've seen people
No.
take pay cuts. They've forced the moves, Lewandowski being one of them, Dembele being one of them, Coutinho being one of them. They'll force it.
Yeah, but Lewandowski was still like 50, 60 mil. So,
And he won the Pichichi and it's in the front runners to win the Pichichi this season as well.
yeah, but Lookman is still going to cost 70 to 80 million.
We'll see about that. But no, I'm seeing like he does have a clause, especially with like the whole board trying to get rid of the whole thing. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we won't know the final numbers. If anything, Lookman might even stay for the whole season. But yeah, if it is like 50, 70 million, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like just bet on Nico Williams instead. Because you could get him at 50.
Yeah, but also Nico Williams' wages are going higher by the second because there are like Chelsea and like other clubs are offering him insane wages to spur in Barca and go to them. And now Nico Williams is asking Barcelona to match those wage demands.
We'll see, Justin. They could add avocado for all I care. I think they'll be set. But yeah, again, we don't need left wingers at this point. Rafinha is doing well. What I think we do need is eventually try to get rid of Dani Olmo, which is insane to say, but yeah, he's having like those muscle injuries, and hopefully we get the diagnostics back for. They did the same. They did that one test with. For some reason I thought I wasn't recording, so I checked right now in a panic. They did the same test, the genetic testing on Pedri. They did that test to Dani Olmo to see why he keeps getting like muscle injuries.
hmm
Maybe it comes back positive, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, I think we probably do need to get rid of him. It's bad, but like we need consistency of like
Well,
playing.
Daniel Olmo never made sense to me as a signing for Barcelona because I always felt like you guys were already well stocked into that position because you guys had Pedri, Rafinha could play in that spot, Fermin Lopez, even Gabby in a pinch. Like you had multiple players that could play that position, so I felt like he was more of a luxury than anything. So, I- if anything, if you guys could parlay it into a profit, I think that's okay, good business, but it also didn't make sense the signing of Dani Olmo when there was more
Yeah.
pressing needs.
Yeah, I was complaining about it too, but like looking at it now, like it's not a bad signing, especially how well he's been playing. It sucks that he's constantly getting injured after like every sixth game, but we're getting the most out of him, and when he does play, he's like world class. But yeah.
In other Spanish news, Atletico Madrid sporting director take has been taken by Arsenal to be their new sporting director.
So they're gonna get the whole Argentina national team now.
They might try.
They're gonna get Dibu back. But yeah, it's crazy that they're poaching teams like that. But no, it's not a bad signing because think about it. Think about the amount of players he's gotten over the years. You
Well,
know.
he took over in 2017. Like he's had good business.
Hmm.
Like he was the one that got Luis Suarez in for like 5 mil, and he gave him a title.
I'm pretty sure
He,
that was Barcelona's doing, bro. They're like, oh, you want Suarez? Right, man.
yeah,
Like the same thing with David Villa, bro. That shit pissed me off. But yeah,
he's
they.
had good signs.
Mhm.
Like he brought back Rodri and then sold him for profit.
Hmm.
He's had good signings. He's also had failures like Joao Felix and Diego Costa. The reunion wasn't as good as the first run.
Look at Julian Alvarez. He got Julian Alvarez, Sorloth.
Yeah, he's good. He also got Marcos Llorente, who has been a great staple for Diego Simeone's side ever since he signed.
Mini Simeone. And
Mm.
yeah, it's crazy because he had to look past like him being his son and just pointing out the qualities because anyone would have just been like, no, it's your son. I don't want you. But no, he's been having a great signings. Even Pablo Barrios, just so many good signings. Renan Lodi. He's a
Well,
great director.
yeah, so it pisses me off that he went to Arsenal because it might make him good because he knows what they need and he's the type of director that just goes for what they need and
Hmm.
improve the squad, not carrying. So my only hope is he argues with Arteta and gets Arteta out, and then
Bring Simeone in.
make him become a little more bearable. But yeah, I think his first order of business, he's probably gonna set that striker position set and be like, I don't care what you say, Arteta, we're getting you a striker and you're gonna like it.
Hmm. We'll see who they get. Knowing them, I was gonna say they probably get Jonathan David. There's like all these links for Victor Gyökeres, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what Arsenal does because they have failed tremendously trying to sign strikers in the past.
Hmm.
So you can't you can't rely on them to be honest at
Yeah,
all.
watch Arsenal infect him and make him like just keep on buying center backs and CDMs.
Dude. Do you know what Arsenal should buy? They should buy Lewandowski. Coming off a Pichichi season against like a young Mbappe, mine for 60 million, a bargain. I'll be the dream, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, honestly, it's a good signing. You could have just gone completely experiments and asked Arteta who he wants, and I'm glad they didn't, and they took their own direction.
Yeah, and I think it's good that it was a good decision by the board to not look like keep on looking in between the Premier League because that's what they're known for. Just like, oh, what's happening in the Premier League? Oh, we'll just get them.
Yeah, and overpay for a player that's gonna get you 10 goals a season for like 70 million.
Yeah, so I think they did good by looking outside the league and hiring him. But the thing is with him, he knows very well like how to spot talent because like Rodrigo de Paul and like all these players like they're not like the flashiest names, but they like do well.
Hmm.
And plus, he's probably gonna raid La Liga since he knows how much talent's there,
Hmm.
and just bring it over to Arsenal.
He might even sign Sorloth because again, Sorloth has not been playing. He's not been playing bad. He's just been super unlucky with scoring chances. And when he has scored chances, it's against Real Madrid and Barcelona. So that speaks a volume.
Yeah, and also he might even sign a left winger to, actually play well since Martinelli has just dropped off and they're just relying on what Ethan Nwaneri instead of like Martinelli or Trossard.
Hmm. That's for sure. So it's exciting news for Arsenal fans. So,
Not for me.
hey, again, if Arteta's out, would you think Arsenal's a little? Oh no, you don't. You hate the
It's
fans.
it's it's a
You
fans,
hate
dude.
Arsenal TV. That's what it is because they kind of amplify the whole fan base and speak for them and gives them this like false sense of confidence.
Well, the thing is, they became popular because it was so funny to make fun of them because they were so ridiculous.
Hmm.
Because they would come in with all this hope and be like, "Oh, we're winning the league. Oh, we're making top two. Oh, we made top four. That's our championship." And so that was the running joke. And then they were still a joke. And then what was it? 3 years ago, they finished second, and then they're like, "Oh, we're the best team in Europe. Oh, we can beat anyone. Look at all our players. Our starting 11 is the best starting 11 in the world. Your team, no players of your starting 11 would make our starting 11." Like they're just making ridiculous claims, and it's so stupid.
True. True. I don't disagree there, but that's every pretty much disillusioned fan, but they just kind of amplified it a little bit more, especially with the platform they have that we gave them. So it sucks to see. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, like I said, they have still have crazy takes. Like, remember this past, they've been saying Ethan Nwaneri is at the same level as Lamine Yamal.
That man wishes he could touch it. He's really good though. I'll
He's
say
good.
that. But
I think we mentioned like we think he's like he's good, he's solid, but we're talking about Lamine Yamal here.
he was starting every fucking game.
Like I'm
So
like
I just want
I
to see how they're gonna do with Saka comes back. Like Nuwardi's gonna if they're gonna want to play him, he's gonna have to play on the left side.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think it's a good thing that he's gotten his time because, like we said, they've needed another creative outlet to help Martin Odegaard because it's been known for a while now that if you stop Odegaard, you stop their offense.
Hmm. But then again, I saw a stat today. Lamine Yamal is the most is the footballer right now with the most biggest chance creator, most chance created. But right behind him is Saka, and think about it, he hasn't been playing for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, but he was a corner merchant, dude. He was taking their corners and they had those set plays, those picks set up for him.
They did, but you kind of have to give him credit for that until they stop actually doing the corner merchant thing. But for
Now,
now,
Jerry,
like he's been creating a lot of chances for that team.
no, Jerry, as a hater, I don't have to give him anything.
True. But yeah, anything else?
Um, Nothing in football that I can think of. You got anything?
Nope. Just good old soccer's back. Thank God.
Yeah,
Thank.
it was a like rough 2 weeks.
It was. It got to the point where I was watching basketball and that wasn't any fun. I didn't get any dopamine from March Madness either. So, hmm.
Hey, let's go blue. Let's go Blue Devils, dude.
Yeah. Then the final four. Let's see if they can make it pull through.
Yeah, and then the Bulls are gonna get the number one overall pick, and then I'll have some hope in my life.
Yeah, we can keep wishing, Jesse. We're sounding like Arsenal fans now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Play On Podcast, episode 54 with Jesse and Jerry. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.